The following video is based upon true crime content. Therefore, it may contain images and/or language that some find disturbing. For this reason, viewer discretion is advised. Hi, everyone. We've been jumping around from various trials lately, and I'm trying to keep up with all of them. Jennifer Gledhill was back in court this past week, and I wanted to touch on this really quickly so that we can stay up to date with what's going on as it happens. So for those of you who are new to the trial, here is a really quick intro of the details of the case.
National Guard, along with law enforcement, have been in Davis County the last few days looking in specific areas for a shallow grave. Matthew Johnson is a Green Beret with the 19th Special Forces Group. He hasn't been seen since September 20th.
Charges were filed against Jennifer Gledhill for alleged murder of her husband. This was dated on October the 15th, and it says today Salt Lake County District Attorney Sim Gill filed 9 felony charges against Jennifer Gledhill for her alleged connection to the disappearance and apparent death of her husband, Matthew Johnson. On September 28th of 2024, the defendant called Cottonwood Heights Police Department to report Mr. Johnson was missing. She told law enforcement that her husband had not been seen or heard from since they fought on September 20th of 2024. The defendant told police that Mr. Johnson had told her he would be gone for a week and not to call him. An informant told police later that he had had an extramarital affair with the defendant, and that on Sunday, September the 22nd, the defendant came over to his house. While there, the defendant told the informant that Mr. Johnson had come home on the 20th of September and yelled at her because he knew that she was sleeping with someone else. The defendant told the informant that she shot Mr. Johnson on September the 21st as he slept in their bed. She told the informant that she put Mr. Johnson's body into a rooftop storage container, slid him down the stairs of their home, and loaded his body into the back of their minivan. The defendant said she smashed Mr. Johnson's phone and hid his truck in a nearby neighborhood. The defendant said that she then took her husband's body north, dug a hole, and buried him in a shallow grave. The informant said that he noticed bruises all over the defendant's body, and when asked about them, the defendant said that they were from moving Mr. Johnson's body and cleaning their house. Detectives obtained a search warrant for the defendant's home. They noticed the mattress in the master bedroom was new. There were several reddish-brown spots on the wall, the bed frame, and blinds of the master bedroom. The wall behind the master bedroom bed was covered in bleach. A circular pattern on the carpet below the bed on the right side near the head of the bed tested positive for human blood. So that gets you up to date with what you need to know for this specific hearing today. There's a couple of other pieces to the case, but basically, why do these people always tell someone what they did? It's like they always tell on themselves. And she actually trusted her current lover, and he came back and told the police everything, which, can you blame him? He probably thought, oh my goodness, I might be next. Anyway, here is the hearing that occurred this week.
Please all rise. All watch up. I am now decided. Thank you, Madam Secretary.
Good morning.
Good morning, Judge.
We have today the preliminary hearing for the matter of State versus Jennifer Gledhill. That's case number 241912513. If we could have appearances of counsel starting with for the state.
Yes, thank you. Emily Paulus, Josh Graves, and Jamie Whiteaway for the state.
And for the defendant.
And Jeremy Diaz for Ms. Gledhill, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Cloutier is present as well. Is everyone ready to proceed with the preliminary hearing?
Your Honor, I have no doubt the state's ready. I've had an opportunity to speak with my client. We've talked about the nature of preliminary hearings, that it is a probable cause hearing. We've talked about case law related to probable cause hearings, and that all inferences are made in favor of the state. We've discussed the evidence and the witnesses that the state would call at trial. Based on that, based on the low standard of prelim, and again, the case law associated with preliminary hearings, it's my client's desire to waive a right to a preliminary hearing today and go forward with the initial appearance and then set it for further pretrial.
Does the state have any objection to that?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Ms. Gledhill, I understand that you'd like to waive your right to a preliminary hearing today. Is that correct? Okay. Are you thinking clearly today?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Now, Mr. Diaz has explained that he's already talked with you about a preliminary hearing. I will perhaps reiterate some of the things he's already said. So, with a preliminary hearing, the state has to put on enough evidence to show probable cause that you committed each of the crimes that you've been charged with. So you could hear that evidence. Mr. Diaz could cross-examine any witnesses. You could present your own evidence. So do you understand that right you're giving up today?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Okay, and do you make that decision freely and voluntarily?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Okay. So I accept your waiver of the preliminary hearing. I find that it's made knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily. Mr. Diaz, you want to do the arraignment today as well?
Yes, Your Honor. I would ask the court to enter not guilty pleas on my client's behalf. And I guess, given the audience, I'd also just say that obviously this is just a waiver of the preliminary hearing. Obviously, there are still facts that are alleged that we would contest, but I would just simply say that.
Okay, thank you. When would you like to schedule this for a pretrial conference?
Your Honor, I don't know if it works for the state's calendar, but I could do February 28th.
All right, for the state? Okay.
I might be in trial on that day. Your Honor, there is a difficulty with my calendar. I will potentially in a trial in another courtroom on the 28th, so I'd ask for a different date.
Do you want to go 2 weeks later, March 14th?
Yes, let's do that.
I might be in trial that day. You can definitely go to trial. Actually, so the problem is I'm in trial on that date, but speaking with Mr. Graves, he's available on the 28th, so if
Okay.
and so he can cover that hearing.
All right, so let's do February 28th at 1 p.m. for the pretrial conference. Anything else we need to discuss today?
Your Honor, I would just make it clear, I think today was set for a preliminary hearing / detention hearing. I just asked the court to move detention to that date.
To the 28th?
Yes.
Okay, we will do that.
Great, thank
All
you.
right, anything else
There's
for
going
the
to be a detention
state?
hearing on the 20th, Your Honor. Should we set some time aside for the state to put on evidence, or will the court accept proffer?
I'm fine with proffer.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with proffer.
And Josh, I anticipated proffer.
Are you expecting, or either side expecting, that detention hearing would take more than 15 minutes?
I don't believe so, not if it's read proffer.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so we'll have February 28th, 1 p.m.
So there you go. Back on February the 28th at 1 p.m. So that's probably when we'll do the next update, unless, of course, they end up putting out more information about the case prior to that. If you have not watched anything on my playlist from this case, it's not too late to get caught up on this case if you're new to it. I've only done 3 videos prior to this one, and I do have the playlist at the end of this video, also attached to the description section of the video. You can go back and watch it. I do appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please do not forget to like and subscribe on your way out, and feel free to leave a comment. Have a blessed day.